We have stated in video part 3 of this set that Murugan was an Asivaga Siddha. How did we come to this conclusion? In every abode of Muruga, including the 6 abodes called Padai Vidus, we always find Siddhar parties. Examples like Alambadi, Avalurpete, Kundratur, Parani, Padamudircholai, Tirupparangundram, Swami Malai are suffice to prove this. In Alambadi, the party is of prehistoric period. Instead of Murugan temple, we see a bunch of whales on the hilltop mounted on the stone. When we contacted the villagers, they say that there is a ceremony that Murugan is invited from this party into the village during the start of Murugan festival. This should have been reminiscent of a practice that Murugan Siddha should have visited the village for offering solutions to the problems of the villagers during the times that Murugan Siddha was staying in this party. The fact that Kundurikkum Edamellam Kumaranirukkum Edam, meaning wherever there is a hillock, there lives Murugan. This old saying is derived from the fact that the parties are on hillocks and hence Murugan is identified with hills. Even at Tiruchendur, a sea beach, there is a party called Valli Guhai. These facts emphatically prove that Murugan was an Asivaka Siddha. In fact, at Swami Malai, the Vahanam of Murugan is shown as an elephant rather than the usual peacock. This invariably proves that Murugan was an Asivaka Siddha, an INR. Recently, a Sangha period Murugan temple was unearthed on the beach near Mamallapuram. And Mamallapuram has hills, and there is even a Pandavar Guhai, which invariably means Asivaga parties. These facts prove that Murugan was a human and a Siddha. However, Murugan is always confused with Sivan by the researchers. Shiva and Muruga were believed to be both mountain deities, and their weapons were Trishul and Veil respectively. Actually, the similarities between them arise as they both worshipped Sivalingam. Shiva is the first Tirthankarar, and Murugan might have been one of the Tirthankarars long after that of Shiva. Since Shiva is wearing tiger skin and Muruga was wearing kobanam made of cotton, Muruga and Shiva were different Siddhas, and Muruga was of quite a later period compared to that of Shiva. The confusion arises from the fact that Murugan was called Kandan, meaning phallus. The fact is that both Sivan and Murugan Siddhas not only worshipped Sivalingam, but they both contributed towards it, and that is the commonality, and the confusion arises from that point only. I have discussed in part 3 of the video that the word Sivalingam was coined by Adinatha, and hence he was himself called Shiva. Sivalingam is the symbol of creation of living beings, and Adinatha also created Natarasa form of Sivalingam as the creator of the cosmos itself. Murugan, for his part, coined the word Kandu, meaning phallus, to refer to Sivalingam, and hence he is himself called Kandan. Moreover, Murugan Siddha also created the star form as an abstract form of Sivalingam. The down-pointing triangle represents female part, and the up-pointing triangle represents male part. The merger of both the triangles makes a six-faced star identified with Murugan. Murugan Siddhar had coined the star representation of Sivalingam, and hence he is the only one among Hindu gods associated with the star form. This star is the same as the one used by the Jews as Star of David as a religious symbol with the same meaning. As a star has 6 faces, and as Murugan is related to the star, Murugan is called Arumugam. Murugan was assigned 6 abodes, one for each one of the faces of the star, when he was inducted into Hinduism, even though he lived in hundreds of such abodes in his lifespan in the ancient Tamil nation. As Murugan mostly lived around Madurai in hill caverns, Tirupparangundram, Padamudircholai, Palani, all centered around Madurai, happens to be his primary Padi Vidus, along with Tiruchendur, a theatre of war, Swamimalai at Kumbakonam, and Tirutanigai in the northern Tamil nation of very ancient India, which are the abodes that Murugan visited. The 6 prominent abodes of Muruga are called Padai Vidus. As seen already, Murugan was a Siddha, and all the mountain abodes of Muruga were Padis where Siddhas lived and visited and cohabitated by Murugan Siddhar. These Padi Vidus were deliberately mispronounced by Indo-Aryans as Padi Vidus, which means army cantonment houses. They mispronounced it because they wanted to obliterate Asivakam completely from the Tamil soil and Murugan's association with Asivakam. Padi Vidu, Padi Vidu, Padai Vidu. But Murugan did engage in wars. In fact, at Tiruchendur, Sura Samaram is enacted as an annual remembrance festival of victory of Muruga against intruders, who were called Suras, who would have come actually from other lands into Tamil country. There is another theatre of war that Murugan is related to, that is Tirupporur near Chennai, which is again near to the beach. Since Tamil country was rich, people from nearby lands would have come to loot and annoy the Tamil country, and this should have been a big problem in those days. Muruga had specialized in martial arts and could have protected his people with the help of his fellow ascetics from the violent seaborne intruders into their lands, just like Bodhidharma did on the intrusion of Tartarics against Buddhist Chinese. From the foregoing facts, it can be surmised that Muruga was a Siddha who created the martial arts like Kalari, etc. The existence of Kalari Payattu in southern Tamil Nadu and southern Kerala substantiates our surmise. He was one of the Siddhas who concentrated on martial art, part of the 64 types of arts which the Tamil Siddhas developed. The Velayudham spear was designed by him. That is why he was called Velan after the name of the weapon. Though Murugan developed martial arts and took part in defense wars, he was not a regular army man. His primary identity was a Siddha. Murugan never maintained an army. He, along with his disciples who were learning the martial arts, took part in the wars to protect the Tamil country. These were defense wars and not offensive wars, as Murugan was a Siddha. We have already stated that Shiva lived before 20,000 years. We strongly believe that Murugan lived around 10,000 years from now. The reason which makes us to believe is that the Sumerian god Marduk has much similarity to that of Muruga of Tamil. This has been suggested by many researchers. The Sumerians are great fighters, and we have already reasoned that it was Murugan who developed the martial arts. Hence, Tamils after the period of Murugan were good fighters, having learned the art of fighting from the Asivaka Siddhas, including Murugan. Hence, Sumerians were Tamils, and the name Sumerians should have evolved from the Tamil word Samar, which means fight in Tamil. Hence, the word Samar of Tamil should have deformed to Sumar and finally to Sumerians. Samar, Sumar, Sumerians. Compare it with Sakkar, Sukkar, Sugar to understand the deformation of Samar to Sumar. Just like Indian Sakkar became Sukkar in the Arab world, Tamil Samar became Sumar in Mesopotamia. Sakkar became Sukkar, Samar became Sumar. After a few thousand years from the times of Muruga, some of the valiant Tamils went to Mesopotamia in search of new lands and conquered the people living there already and developed a new and superior civilization there. Just like Muruga having a number of names, the Sumerian god Marduk also has many names. One of the names of Marduk god is Baal, which is deformed Tamil name called Veil after the weapon that Murugan had developed. Veil deformed to Baal. V transforms to B and is a regular transformation route, just as Venkalur became Benkalur, ultimately as Bengaluru. If we read about Sumerian civilization, it reads as though we are reading Tamil civilization. Their communities are centered around temples, just like in Tamil Nadu. Sumerians were black in color and they were made of agrarian and fishing communities. They had language and could write in cuneiform, and they had their own almanac also. We would bring out a detailed description of their civilization, comparing it to that of Tamil civilization as a different product later. Since Sumerian civilization is said to have existed about 6,000 years ago, we tentatively place Muruga period about 10,000 years from now. Siva is related to Tamil and Tamil Sangam, and is stated to have headed the Tamil Sangam, and hence he should have established the first Tamil Sangam. At the time, the oral Tamil had developed very well, and the writing system at the time was of pictorial writing kind. Murugan is also related to Tamil. Just like Tamil and Sivam are synonymous, Tamil and Murugan are also synonymous. We know that water deluge has happened around 10,000 years ago. Graham Hancock has said that Poompugar got submerged around 11,000 years ago due to rapid melting of ice. After resettling from the deluge, Muruga should have started the second Tamil Sangam in his times. This is the pre-runner period of Indus civilization. The Indus civilization was established by South Indian Tamils by first settling in the north by sea route. The writing system that developed from 10,000 to 2000 BC is syllabic form of writing, which is the writing system of Indus civilization, and after which the alphabetic form of Tamil developed during the third Tamil Sangam period. From the foregoing, it is clear that Siva and Muruga were different personalities and lived in different periods of time. Murugan is much junior to Siva. Hence, Murugan was inducted into Sivan family as a son of Siva by the Indo-Aryans. This ascetic Muruga statue of Palani Hills with minimal clothing was created by Bogar Siddhar 2000 years ago using some special composite material. Hence, Murugan was known as a saint with concrete proof which the Indo-Aryans could not negate. But to hide the fact that Muruga was an Asivaka Siddha, the Indo-Aryans created wisdom mango story, and that as Vinayaka had won the wisdom mango, Muruga took sannyasa and settled on Palani Hills. The funny thing here is, while Muruga was a real human Siddha and Vinayaka was only a symbolic deity representing a Siddha, the Indo-Aryans cleverly concocted a story pitting one against the other. Recently, Sangam period Murugan temple built of bricks was unearthed near Mahamallapuram. These facts prove that Murugan is not a person from the Kurunji land, and he lived in Paris and hills just like the other Asivaka Siddhas, and hence he is often mistaken as a Kurunji god. There is a likelihood that Shiva could have been the god of Kurunji land, as the Sivalingam form was worshipped by the earliest people when they were living in mountains, and Shiva wearing animal skin was an ancient Siddha. While Murugan lived at Swamimalai hill Pari, he should have coined the star form of Sivalingam. The mythology of Murugan teaching his father Shiva was told as a Hindu story. Since Sivalingam was the name coined by Shiva, which was called by some other name until his times, and star form of Sivalingam was designed by Muruga, it was metaphorized as Shiva wanting to know the meaning of the star form, and Murugan explained to him that it is nothing but Sivalingam, as is made of two triangles, one representing the male part and the other representing the female part. This is the secret that Muruga told at Swami Malai. But it is said that Muruga explained the meaning of the Pranava manthiram called Om. In fact, Muruga should have also coined the Om mantra representing creation and destruction, the very basic phenomenon of the universe. Hence, Muruga coined the word Kandu for representing Sivalingam, and hence he was called Kandan. He invented the abstract form of Sivalingam. He also discovered the cosmic sound Om, which represents creation and destruction process of the universe. Palani's original ancient name is Thiruvinnankudy. The meaning of the name is respected sky man's residence. This name implies that Murugan also contributed to space science and astrology like Vishnu. That means Vishnu would have made huge contributions basing on the contributions of Muruga and others in this field. In actuality, Murugan is also related to astrology, and we just connect that fact with the ancient name of the hill he lived. Murugan was a Siddhar, and we do not think that he was married. But Devani name, one of the wives of Muruga, could be understood as the following. If we split the word, it renders into Deivam plus Anai, Devani. Deivam means God, Anai means elephant. This coincidence makes me to believe that it was Muruga who established elephant as the identity of Asivaga Siddhas. This fact is hidden in the Hindu mythology as though he married Devani, which means elephant god. Since elephant is the identity of Asivaga Siddhas, he should have been initiated by someone to be followed later by the others. I believe that Murugan might have established this tradition, and this is retained in the Hindu mythology as he marrying a lady called Devani, which means elephant god, when Murugan was rooted into Hinduism. It is very interesting to note that Hindu mythology also says that Indra's daughter was Devani, who was married to Murugan. But Indra's Vahanam is white elephant, a symbol representing Asivaga sage. It is very interesting that Murugan and Indiran are related to each other through elephant god. Since Indiran is related to white elephant, he might also have been the one who established the tradition of having elephant as identity of Asivagam. Or is it possible that both lived during the same period of time and have jointly established the tradition of elephant as identity of Asivagam? One more similarity between Murugan and Indiran is that, like Muruga, Indiran is also considered to be war god. They are connected through elephant and martial arts. We know that Indra was celebrated by people of Pumpuhar, the ancient seaside city and neithal land. One more fact is that Indra was a god of lightning and thunder. We believe that Indiran could have developed navigational technologies initially, and hence we believe him to be the god of seas, the neithal land. The primary deterrent for sea voyage was storm and lightning, and as his comprehensive navigational technology helped the sailors to overcome these deterrents, he is called the god of lightning and thunder. Sea voyage was both for fishing and for travel to the other lands. We believe that he might have also developed Aindiram philosophy, and hence his name originated from there. Aindiran, Indiran. Elephant also is called Aingaran, and it shall be related to the name of Aindiram philosophy that Indiran developed, as both the names are related to number 5. This might also be the reason linking Indiran with white elephant. Just like Muruga, Indiran is also known in Western world, including Aryans and Zoroastrians, etc. As ancient Tamils migrated away from Tamil land about 10,000 years ago, they carried with them Shiva, Muruga and Indra heritages with them. We have to do further research on these historical figures. Murugan was one of the Siddha who developed martial arts, and we believe that he lived around 10,000 years ago, and he might have initiated the second Tamil sangam after the deluge, and he is the one who invented the abstract star form of Sivalingam. We feel Indiran should have developed Aindiram philosophy. He is also the key man to develop navigational technologies, and hence he was called God of Sea, the neithal land, and God of lightning and thunder.